Alright, good evening ladies and gents, welcome back to Compound Interesting. In today's video I want to give my perspective on possibly the most confusing time to invest, the most confusing market that I've ever been an investor in for the last 5 years or so, and my entire investing outlook for the next few weeks, months and years. And yeah, TLDR, I'm still investing every spare cent I can into the market. And I'm not just investing into the market, I'm investing in what I think is the best risk adjusted return opportunities over the next 10 years or so. Even though like all these incredibly smart people, the top YouTubers, the most incredibly smart people on Twitter are telling you, be patient, don't invest right now, things are going to get worse before they get better, save your money, stack your cash, and then invest at the perfect bottom or when things are starting to turn around. I just think that the majority of people, myself included, you shouldn't think so highly of yourself. No offense, I'm not going to think too highly of myself. I'm not some genius trader or something. And I also think rather than spending all that time trying to predict when is the perfect time to invest into the market, the much more important thing is to research and find out what is the best thing to invest in. So stop trying to spend so much time worrying about macro, about the Fed, about all this crap, and just research what is the best thing to invest in right now, what companies are going to have crazy profits in the future, what is undervalued right now, what is going to change the world over the next 2, 5 and 10 years. If you look at the best investors of all time, all of them were buy and hold investors. None of them were really traders, like the likes of Warren Buffett, Peter Lynch, these guys who made 20+% returns for decades. They were much more focused on what they were investing in and just holding it and waiting for those returns to come to them. And so if you're using that strategy that I used, which is just DCA or just put in as much money as I can whenever I have it into things that I believe in, like as long as you're not buying like the absolute peak of the 2000.com crash or the absolute peak of the 2009 crash, like if you were just getting the average prices around those times, or even when those markets were crashing down, you'd be up massively now. It doesn't matter. Like it doesn't matter if you're not buying the perfect bottom of the 2002 crash or the perfect bottom of the 2010 crash. It doesn't matter if you're buying in and around those times, constantly just putting more and more money in. As long as you didn't go all in at the peaks, you're still doing extremely well right now. And the only reason you would have went all in at the peaks is if you're trying to time the market. But if you are just constantly aping into the market everything you can, you won't be buying the peaks necessarily. You'll be buying all the way up and all the way down and getting a nice average price. And in 10 years, you'll have done extraordinarily well. But if you are trying to time the markets, this is an inflation adjusted chart of the S&P 500. But as you can see, the markets topped before the recession actually hits. And as we know, we are in a recession. And yeah, we can see we've already peaked for sure. We've already peaked. And yeah, people are like, oh, it's going to go down so much more. But yeah, it's more likely to go down a little bit more than it is to come up. But like, you're getting to those kind of crazy oversold areas. It's like buying at the peak. And as I mentioned, even if you're just averaging into the market, like you did extraordinarily well in the S&P 500, but you can massively outperform the S&P 500 if you're researching what to invest in. If you're trying to find the absolute gems of what will be for the next 10 years, what will be the best opportunities over the next 10 years, then you can massively outperform the S&P 500 and do way better than this. So the S&P 500 on a risk adjusted return has done what, about a double even in this crash since 2009. That's alright. But if you're spending less time worrying about macro and the Fed market and all this crap, if you're spending that time researching crypto, researching NFTs, researching stocks, you can find gems and do much better than the S&P 500. Stop worrying about the ups and downs. You need to learn to master your emotions, because investing right now is really tough. It is really hard, I'll admit it. It's very demoralizing when you put in money and it's worth less every single week. But yet, like, making money isn't supposed to be easy. You know what I mean? Making good investment gains is not supposed to be easy. The other thing that has served me very well in these kind of scenarios is learning to master my emotions and trying to flip my emotions. So instead of feeling shit when everything's going to shit, trying to feel really good that I'm given another opportunity to buy all these great assets at really depressed prices. Like pretty much everything is oversold. Everything of high quality is oversold at the moment. Doesn't mean it can't get more oversold. For example, if you're looking at Tesla right now, It's trading at like a 25 price to earnings ratio if you're using the earnings that will get the Wall Street estimates for next year. That's crazy. 25 PE for a company growing at 50% a year. That's crazy. That's crazy oversold. If you're looking at Bitcoin right now, it's trading at the same price it was in 2017 when there's like 40% more dollars than there ever was. That's also crazy. Same thing with Ethereum. Ethereum right now is trading at the same price it was 5 years ago, but now there's like 100x the users, 100x the value of dApps built on top of Ethereum. And it has just gone from proof of work to proof of stake flawlessly. So what am I investing in? Obviously those three things that I mentioned: Tesla, Bitcoin, Ethereum, but also NFTs. So my investing approach for the moment is kind of investing in high reward opportunities right now. So I'm really focusing in on NFTs, as you've probably noticed. And some of you are like, bro, what the hell are you investing in NFTs in a recession for? Like, these are the most speculative things ever. And yeah, you're right, but they probably have the highest upside of anything that I could find, highest upside potential. So while everyone else zigs, I'm going to zag. I'm going to buy all the most speculative stuff in the very depths of a bear market. And yeah, everything could continue to go down. There could be another big horrible leg down. Yeah, I'm prepared for that. But when the bull market does eventually return in a few years, that's when I'll be investing in the lower risk stuff rather than the higher risk stuff, because the lower risk stuff will have lower downside in a bull market than the high risk stuff. That's kind of how I'm thinking about it. Now, this bear market will probably last years, so that gives you plenty of time to slowly average in or just continually ape in everything you have into what you believe in. That's what I'm doing. Obviously not financial advice. Crypto, stocks, everything obviously could go to zero, so just, don't sue me. But that's what I'm doing, just aping in constantly everything that I have. I can handle a lot of volatility. I've weathered a lot of crypto storms. I can get through it, so don't worry about me. But that's kind of my framework right now. I'm flipping NFTs to be able to acquire more blue chip NFTs, and then flipping those blue chip NFTs to be able to acquire more Ethereum, flipping that Ethereum to be able to acquire more Tesla stock. So that's kind of how I'm hoping to play from bear market back into bull market and flip the higher risk stuff into lower risk stuff. So the high reward stuff, buying that now to hopefully flip it into the lower risk stuff where I can just park my wealth there. And as I mentioned before, Tesla is actually my lower risk play. As I mentioned before, what I'm buying are Ethereum domains, NFTs that I can hopefully flip for short-term profits. I'm buying Ethereum, and I'm buying Solana, and I'm buying Tesla. They're the main things that I'm buying right now at the moment. That's not financial advice, of course, but that's how I'm playing this market, and will keep playing this market for the next couple of years. I'm not really interested in buying too many stocks apart from Tesla at the moment, because I don't have time to research them as well. I'm just much more interested in NFTs and crypto for the moment. And I think crypto has much better return potential in my opinion. Stocks aren't even down as much as crypto, and I think crypto will become much bigger over the next 10 years. And obviously we know that fiat is a giant Ponzi, and even though the Fed is going to keep hiking rates and reducing the money supply for the next year or two, eventually, who knows when they're going to do it, but they have to turn the money printers back on, and then crypto and all the other things that I'm investing in is going to start taking off again. Slowly but surely, I think over the next 5 or 10 years, anyone who's investing slowly at the moment is going to do very well. But it might take years, but that's a perfect time. You should be celebrating the fact that we have this opportunity when everything is at depressed prices, because for the last 10 years you couldn't really buy anything. Everything was quite overvalued. Stocks, real estate, crypto. At certain points crypto was overvalued, of course, but now we're getting another opportunity for the next few years, or months or years probably, to invest in stuff at a cheap price for the next 10 years. So you have to kind of have a long-term outlook in this time, in my opinion, to be an investor. So it's really, really hard to be an investor right now. I know it's going to really could potentially wreck with your emotions a lot. There's conflicting information coming from every angle, but just try and keep it simple and try and invest in stuff that you believe in, that you have high conviction in, that you won't need to panic sell if things get even worse. If you have any questions or video topics you want me to do, let me know in the comments, please. It is a very confusing time, and I have no idea what's going to happen, but this is just how I'm approaching the markets. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you wouldn't mind smashing the thumbs up button, it would be hugely appreciated. Thank you so much. Cheers.